See why Java was created. So Java was created, okay, to solve the real world problems. To solve the real world problems, which means it tries to how to solve real world problems by replicating this real world. But if you have to replicate, means if there is a dog, don't think in my program also how to create a dog object. Agree? In the real world, if there is a building, here I have to create a building object. In the real world, if dog eats, I have to write a program so that dog will eat here. So this kind of programming language, object-oriented programming language it is. Okay. Now I'll tell you. Okay. I will tell you what is this class and what are the variables, what is instance variables that we'll see. Okay. Now, don't you think in the real world, I'm an object, right? If I'm an object, I have a has property and does property. For example, okay, like this, I'll tell. If you see any object, okay, okay, if you see any object here, this object has some properties. Each and every object has some properties. For example, I have has property and does property. For example, I have a name, I have a height, right? Does my height do anything? No, height will not do anything. It is a property, it has a value, right? My skin color, it is a property. Okay, so it has property and does property. Okay, every object has property and does property. It is like this. This has properties are like cost, breed, color. Okay, like this, and what is does? Sleeping is the activity, right? Sleeping, eating, running, crying. These are all the activities. No, it is does, right? Yes. So every object has this. Okay, every object has this. Has property and does property. Now, let me come to this class. I'll write the class dog. Okay, I'll write the class dog here. So what does the dog has, right? A dog has maybe cost, right? Each dog has its cost. So cost is of what type? Now I'll write integer type cost. So I'll write integer type cost. I'll explain this. So you are thinking now, sir, can we write this like this without a main method? Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So you can write these properties. Okay. Int cost. Then what it has? Maybe it has weight, right? Maybe I'll tell int weight like this. It is a has property. Next, I'll talk about does property. Okay, what it does? Maybe it will sleep. Okay, it will sleep. Now, whatever it does, it is called as a method here. And how to write this method? You have to write this method like this. Okay, method you have to when you're defining a method has to be defined in these ways. That is, what it accepts, what it returns. As of now, is it accepting anything? No. Is it returning anything? No. Void type means it doesn't return. Void means in English it is nothing. Nothing means void. So I'm telling return type is nothing. But if I told here integer, okay, if I told integer, it means that its return type is integer. Okay. For example, when I ask a person, right? When I ask something question for you, for example, what is 2 into 2? You have to tell me back. Answer is 4. At that time, you are returning me 4. You are returning me 4. That is a int return type. We will see about that later. But right now, sleep. If you tell sleep, he will directly sleep, right? Will he return anything? No. So return type is void here. Here I'll tell system.out.print. What you're printing? I'm telling sleeping. Okay, sleeping. Yes. So if I write the class like this, I'll close the class here. This is one class here. So in this class, it has a has property. These are the has property. Okay, and this is a does property. I hope this is clear. Okay, has property and does property. Where is main method, sir? No need to write the main method. Okay, no need to write the main method. Please take the screenshot once. Take the screenshot. Now, now, sir, can I write one line like this? Can I write one line like this? That is, can I write SOPLN inside here? Can I write SOP inside a class? You can't write SOP inside a class. You can't write like this. Why? Because inside a class, what is allowed? Inside a class, only declarations are allowed. Declarations are allowed. That means you can write int cost. You can write int weight. Method declarations, that is void sleep. That is a declaration of a method, right? You are telling there is a method which returns void type. You are declaring a method. So only declarations are allowed here. Okay. SOPLN is not allowed. You can't write something like, cost is equals to 99. In this line, you can't write because this is initialization. There is no declaration in this line. So you can't write like this. Okay. So what I want to tell is, let's watch here. So I'll be creating a new, yes. Here I'll be deleting everything. Okay. Watch here. So there is a class launch, right? There is a class launch. Above this class launch, I'll write class dog. Sir, can you write two classes in the same file? Yes, you can write two classes in the same file. In the class dog, I'll write int cost. Int cost I'll write. Then I'll write int weight. Int weight I'll write. Then there is void sleep, right? Void sleep. Whenever someone calls this method, this is a method definition, which means if someone calls this method, what you're supposed to do, I'm defining that. Okay, so system.out.println, I'll tell here sleeping. Okay, I'll tell sleeping. So here now when I compile, let's see. No problem. When I execute, what will happen? No output. Why? Because the control is given to whom? Always the control is given to the main method. Always the control is given to whom? The main method only. Okay, control is given to main method. So it will come to the main method. There is nothing in the main method. That's it. Okay. So what I want to explain is, when will the compilation error happen? Maybe I want to write SOP here. Okay. I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. SOP. Did I write inside a method? No, I have written inside a class. And inside a class, if I write, what is it telling? Illegal start of this type. Okay. Illegal start of type. You can't write something within a class which is not a declaration. So I hope you have understood what this will show. It will show error, right? It will show error if I write that. Or see, I can write int cost is equal to 100. Is there any problem here? No, there is no problem. Watch here. There is no problem here. But int cost equal 100. I can initialize it and declare in the same line. But if you try to declare in one line and initialize in another line, okay, if you initialize in another line, maybe like this, maybe dog's weight, maybe let me write 20 kg. Okay. So what am I doing now? I'm declaring in one line and initializing in another line. So what it is telling? Yes, again error. Why? Why? Because you have to understand only declarations are allowed. So again this will show error. Okay. Why? Because I'll comment here, only declarations are allowed. I hope you're understanding. So you have to think now, okay, what is this declaration? Declaration means variable is of what type, right? You're telling its property. Method, what it is supposed to do, that you're telling. Okay, that is about class. Okay, each and everything has a class, right? For example, if I talk about this table object, this table has 4 legs, 4 stands. Table has 4 lines in this here. What it does, it supports my book, it supports my laptop, it does like that, right? So I hope you're understanding that each and every object, it has something, it does something. Okay, that is how you have to think as a programmer. Each and every object has something and does something. So this is how it will look like. Okay, this is how it will look like. Now this is fine, sir. Now what are these called as? Now I'll tell you, these are called as instance variables and instance methods. Okay, the variables which are present inside a class, directly inside a class, not inside a method. Okay, so if I write int, okay, yes. So I think you have taken the screenshot. Please take the screenshot once. Take the screenshot. So I hope you have taken this screenshot here. Okay, I hope you have taken this screenshot. I'll delete this error lines. Okay, I'll delete this error. So now I'll be telling you something called as scope. Okay, scoping. Okay, which has higher scope. Now I will create one more variable. Int cost is equals to 10. Int cost equals to 10. Now here I'll be printing. Okay. So yeah, before that, okay, before that we'll see how to call this sleep method. We'll see. Okay, how to call this a sleep method. Okay, how to call this sleep method. How to call this weight variable. How to know the value of the cost. Right, there is a dog and it has a cost. How to know how to call this variables. How to call this from the main method. I have to see. Okay. Now, what you have to understand is these variables are called as what variables? Instance variables. Okay. These variables are called as, okay, these are called as instance variables. Instance variables. And this is called as, okay, instance, what? Instance method. It is called as instance method. Sir, what's the meaning of this instance? Instance means object. You search in dictionary. Instance means object. Instance variable means object variable. Instance variable means object variable, which means that variable will be present inside the object. Variable is present inside the object. If variable is present inside the object, don't you think you have to create the object first? For example, don't you think my heart is present inside my object? It is present inside my body. So if you want heart, if you want my heart, you have to create me first. After creating me, then only you can take my heart. Agree or not? Yes, I want you to understand that very clearly. See, imagine in this planet you are alone. In this planet you are alone. Okay. Now, if you are alone, you are telling dogs eye. I want dog's eye. You are telling I want dog's eye. A dog is still not there. How can you get the eye? That's why in a program, first you have to create the object, then you have to do what you want. Then you have to do what you want. For example, there is a method called as sleep, right? Okay. So what I'll do now is, watch here. I'll be changing the method name. Instead of sleeping, what will dog do? Dog is famous for barking, right? So I'll write bark is a method. And here I will tell bark. Here I'll tell bark. Okay, I have told bark. Now let me tell you one story so that you'll understand this concept. Imagine I have a big bungalow, right? I have a big bungalow. So I was sleeping one night, and suddenly what I'm seeing is I'm hearing some sounds. I thought maybe it is a dog, but he has never done something like this before. So, okay, now I got to know, okay, this is a thief only. This is a robber. This is a person who has come to rob my things. So I'm telling you, I went to the downstairs and I'm seeing, okay, there are three people who are stealing my stuff in the night. I'm telling hey, Rocky, you bark. Rocky is the dog, he's the dog here. Hey, Rocky, you bark, I'm telling. That Rocky is not barking only. I'm telling you, Rocky, go and bite those three people. Rocky is not biting. Right? So I'm trying to execute which method here? I'm trying to execute bark method, right? I'm trying to execute which method? Bark method. But I'm telling a Rocky, bark, but Rocky is not barking. Why? Because Rocky is only not there. Okay, I want you to understand that. If object is only not there, how can you call a method which is supposed to be present inside an object? Is it clear? So if you want to call a method, don't think first object should be created. If the Rocky has to bark, bark is a method to be executed. Rocky should be present first. Now that object should be present. So I want you to understand here, right? What you have to understand, if you want to call a method, you have to create the object first, then you have to call the method. Is it clear? So now the question is, sir, how to create an object here? How to create an object? Okay. Now, can I call bark method directly? So what you're thinking is, sir, what is so difficult here? I'll call bark method, sir, directly. Bark method is present here. Yes. I'll call bark method. If I compile and if I try to execute, watch here what will happen. Okay. So when I compile, what error it will tell? I cannot find symbol. I cannot find symbol bark. You're telling bark is there, right? Now what you have to understand is whatever class you have, right? Whatever class you have, this is not an object. Don't think that this is an object. This is the information of an object. I want you to understand that. This is not an object. This is the information of an object, which means if you create an object, what it has, what it does, this is the information. For example, in the real world, if you want to understand like a real world, okay, what is this? What is the class here? Class is a blueprint. We'll call it as blueprint or information. Okay. In real life, our information is stored in DNA. Agree? Our information is stored in DNA. Now, tell me, is DNA an object? No. But using DNA, you will create an object. Same thing like that. Using class, you will create an object. Using class, you will create an object. In the real world, using DNA, I hope you know about our latest scientific technologies, right? Where using the DNA, we can create a person like me itself. So DNA is information, class is also information. Now you think and tell me, I am seeing one dog's blood in the ground. I am seeing one dog's blood in the ground. In the blood, there is a DNA. Can I tell for the DNA, hey, DNA bark bark? Can I tell DNA bark bark? No, right? I can't tell like that. Why? Because DNA can't bark. It's an information there. Okay. If you want to make it bark, using the DNA, create a dog object, create a puppy, then you tell it bark. I hope here you have completely understood object-oriented programming. That's it. In 10 minutes, I'll explain what is object-oriented. In other institutes, they will take 2 to 3 days, but I hope you understood the example. Now let me write the program for you. Okay, then how to create an object, right? Now what happens when you create an object? Watch here. Now, what you have to understand is, in the RAM, there are 4 parts. Okay, in the RAM, there are 4 parts. So watch here. I'll be clearing all this. Okay. So what are the 4 parts? The 4 parts are in the RAM. Okay. If this is our RAM, right? Yes. The 4 parts are like this. One is a heap segment. Okay. Heap segment. One more is stack segment. One more is static segment. Okay. And one more is code segment. Whatever code you write, everything is present here. For example, main method, class dog, class launch, whatever you write, everything is present here only. Okay. So then what is present in the heap? Whatever object you are going to create, that will be present in the heap. So then what is present in static? I'll tell that in the later. Okay. In the tomorrow's class, I'll tell what is present in the static. Okay. So what is a stack? What is stack contain? It will contain the method. Okay. For example, do you know about local variables? The local variables it will contain. If a method has local variables, that local variables it will contain here. Okay. For example, okay. So I hope you understood, right? So what will this heap do? Heap will contain the objects here. Now watch here. I'll be writing this program. Okay. Right. So I think, okay, in here I have to write like this, right? Okay. So this is how our RAM will be. Okay, stack, heap, code segment, and static segment. So what will be present inside the heap? The objects will be present. Okay. Now, if I look at the code, you are telling bark, right? So what has to bark? You have not yet told, right? You have not yet told. So first, what you have to do is one object has to be created. Because as I told you, right? If you want my heart, first I should be there. One object should be there. Then you can take the heart. In the same way, if you want barking to happen, first the dog should be there. So the question is how to create an object. So what you have to tell is new keyword, NEW. When you tell new keyword, now JVM, Java Virtual Machine, gets activated. It'll tell me, okay, I understood that you want to create a memory, but how much memory do you want? It'll ask. Okay, now it is about to create one memory now. It is about to allocate one space, but it doesn't know how much actually space you need. It can't give you the whole heap itself for you, right? Because other objects also need a space. It can't give less space than required. It has to give as required, right? So how much big is your class? According to that only it has to give you the memory. So what I'll tell is, it will ask me, okay, how much memory you want, exactly how much you want. It will ask me. What I'll tell is, yeah, I don't know, but go to the dog class, right? This is what I'll tell. Go to the dog class. There you scan all of these variables and method. After scanning, you will get to know what's the size of the class. Accordingly, you create this object. Now J will tell, okay, I will scan. It will scan all these things. Okay, it will scan all these things. Now it has understood. Okay, right now let me remove the static. It will think. Okay, there is a cost, there is a weight, there is bark. So what it will do inside this object, right? Inside this object, it will create those variables. The cost variable. Okay, then the weight variable. Okay, and at the end there is a method, that is bark method, right? Bark method. And here it is system.out.print, it was barking. So this was the method. All these things, where it will present? It will be present inside the object. Why it is present inside the object? Because it's an instance variable. Instance variable means object variable. Instance variable will be present inside the object. So instance variable and instance methods are present inside the object. Now since it is present inside the object, okay, I can call this bark method because object is created. So what I'll do, once the object is created, new dog, object is created, I will try to call the bark method now. But watch here carefully. Can I call the bark method? Let's see. So what it is telling? We can't find symbol, right? Yes, you have told create a dog object. You have told create a dog object. Dog object is created. You are telling bark. Which dog has to bark? What if 10 dogs are there? If 10 dogs are there, can you tell bark? All will bark, right? You want only one to bark. So you have to specifically tell. You have to specifically tell which dog has to bark. Now what you have to understand is whenever you told new dog, don't you think this is an object? Every object has one location, right? The location of this object is called as a reference. I'll tell it as maybe 1000. 1000 is the location of the object in the memory. Okay. Now I am telling it as 1000, but actually it is not 1000. It is something else. It is not an integer value. It is a address type. It's a different type. No, it's a address there. Okay. So it will be there like this one. It will be there. 1000 will be there. You created an object. You created an object, right? Did you hold that object? No, you have not hold that object. See, what happens is there is something called as garbage collector. Okay, there is something called as garbage collector. That garbage collector duty is to collect the unwanted garbage. What is unwanted? In Java it is clearly defined, that if you hold to something, you want it. If you don't hold to something, you don't want it. That is the meaning here. Okay. So what will this garbage collector do? Garbage collector will collect all those objects for whom you have not holded it. Now I have not holded this bottle. Garbage collector will collect it. Okay, I have not holded this pen. Garbage collector will collect it. But if I catch it like this, now garbage collector will understand. Hey, yes, this has a reference. So it is holded by someone. It is holded by someone. So it will not take this, but it will take this bottle because no one is catching to that. So now that is why it is my duty that whatever object you have created, someone must hold it, or else that is also deleted. You created, it is deleted, within a fraction of a second. That's why it's a waste of your creating that dog. So we have to hold that dog, right? And that is why understand this thing. How do I hold this reference? This reference is there 1000, and that 1000 I have to store it. That 1000 I'll be storing it in variable, D. So I'll tell, give this reference, because whenever you create a new object, always the reference is given to the left hand side. Okay, give this new reference to a variable called as a D. I will tell. Okay, so don't you think now D is a local variable? A local variable where it is present. Local variables are present in the stack. So now there is a variable called as D. So in the D now, what is present? In the D, 1000 is present. What is this 1000? That 1000 is pointing to the object here. Okay. So now don't you think D is pointing to that object? If someone is pointing to the object is not deleted, or else object is deleted. Okay. Now this D is of what type? Because D is coming for the first time. You have to declare a variable. And how do you declare a variable? You have to tell what type it is. Now D, what type is it holding? Is it holding string type? No. Float type? No. You are seeing an integer number. You are thinking it is an integer type. But I'll tell you it is not integer type. It is a address, right? Address of what? Address of which class? Address of dog class. So here I have to tell it is of the type. It is of the type dog. This is what you have to tell. Once you have told this, okay, now you have collected the reference, right? You have collected the reference. Now you want to call bark method. Again, if you call bark method, it is the same case, again it will compile time error. Now you have to specifically tell. What you have to tell? You have to tell like this. In the 1000th address, I'll tell go to the 1000th address. After going to the 1000th address, make a hole in that object. I'll tell. Dot means what? Make a hole inside that object. So what will happen now? Here, it will come to the 1000th address. It will make a hole inside the object. It will make a hole. When it makes a hole, don't you think it has three property here? What it will do? It will. We want to execute the bark method. Then I'll tell inside this. Inside this 1000th address, there is something called as bark method. You execute that. I'm telling. But as I told you, 1000 is not the actual address, right? Because it is the address which I imagined. Where is the actual address stored? Actual address stored in D. So what I have to tell? Instead of telling 1000.bark, I have to tell D.bark. I have to specifically tell, because as you can see, this is my RAM, right? In the RAM, there is a bark method. If I have to execute that bark method, I have to go from the stack to bark. If I have to go from stack to bark, I have to tell in which way I have to go, where I have to go, which is the location I have to go. So here I have to tell D.bark, and if I compile and execute, watch here. So see, no problem, and when I execute it, it will tell bark. I hope you have understood, right? So it is now we are able to print that object. We are able to print that method. Okay. I hope you have understood here that you should not only create an object, but that object's reference has to be stored, so that in the future, using the reference, you will call that method. Okay. This is how it is. Now. Now I'll print you system.out.println. I want to print this cost. I want to print this cost. Now, what will happen when you create an object, right? I have not completed it. When you create an object, this is all these variables are copied and pasted. Yes. So when the object is created, first what will happen is default values will be there. What are the default values? These are, for integer it is 0, for boolean it is false, like this. Okay, for float it is 0.0. So default values are kept here like this. So 0 and 0 are the default values. Then after that it will again see, okay, you have given 100 to the cost, right? So now cost becomes, right? Cost becomes what? It is updated to 100. So this is what happens in the memory. Will the weight be updated? No, weight will be 0 only. Who initialize 0? JVM initialize 0 when creating the object. Default values are added. Okay. In C, garbage value will be there, but here it is the default values. Now, after this is done, now I want to print this cost, right? I want to print this cost. If I have to print this cost, I have to tell inside the 1000th address there is a cost. You print that. So 1000 is stored in D. So I have to tell inside the D there is a cost. You print that cost inside the D. So when I compile and execute, see, I'll be okay. What is the problem here? D dot cost. Okay, yeah. See, cost you should not put brackets here. Cost you should not put brackets. These brackets are for methods. Okay, when you are calling a method, you have to put bracket that time. Now I'm calling a variable. I'm trying to get the value of a variable, which means I have to remove those brackets. So now whatever is inside the object D, that is what I'm trying to print. That is 100. Okay. So here I'll tell WEIGHT weight. I'm trying to print the weight. Now don't you think, since I have not initialized the weight, JVM has initialized the default value. What is the weight here? Weight is 0. So let's see. Don't you think our weight will be 0 here? Yes, it is 0. Okay. This is how to get the value from the object. How to store the value into the object? How to store value into the object? It is like this. So before printing weight, I will tell store this 30. Okay, 30 kg. 30. Store this 30 where? Go to the D object. Inside that object there is a variable called as weight. You store that 30 inside this object weight. Then you try to print that that weight. So if I do like this, watch here. See, we got 30. So this is how to print the value. This is how to print the value. So I hope you have understood, right? That if you want to call a method, if you want to call a method, you have to create the object, then you have to call the method. I hope this is clear. If you want to call a method, you have to create the object, then using that object reference, you have to call the method. Okay. Now, can you please take the screenshot of this? Can you please take the screenshot of this? Now this is initialized to 30. Okay, this is initialized to 30. Yes. Take the screenshot here. So I hope you have taken the screenshot. Now you can take the screenshot of this code also. Okay. So I hope you have taken the screenshot. So what I want to tell now is about static variables. Okay, static variables and static method. Okay, so till now I was talking about instance variables, right? So what is instance variable? Instance variable is a variable which is inside a class. Then what is static variable? Static variable is also a variable which is inside a class, but static variables are prefixed with the keyword called as static. Okay, this is called as a static variable. And if I write here static, this becomes a static method. This becomes a static method. Okay. Now I have written a static variable, right? Now understand what will happen. What is a static? So whenever you write static, right? Static int cost. Static variable is not an instance variable. Instance variable will be present inside the object. Static variable, where it will be present? Yes, it will be present inside static segment, right? Whatever you tell as a static, that static variable will be coming where? Inside the static segment, which means cost will not be present now inside this object. Cost will not be present inside the object. Why? Because it is not an instance variable. Why it is not instance variable? Because it is a static variable. If it is a static variable, it is not an instance variable. How is a static variable? Because in the code I have written a static keyword there. That's the reason. It becomes static variable, which means what will happen? What will happen is it will be present in the static segment. What is the name now? Name is cost. So it will come like this. Default values are also added here. 0 is the default value. Then what did you tell? Store this 100 in the cost. So cost now becomes overwritten to 100. This is the cost will come where? Inside the static segment. Okay. But I want you to understand how this is stored inside the static. It is stored by the class name. What's the class name here? What's the class name? Class name is dog. Class name is dog. That's why it is stored as dog.cost. This is how it is stored in the memory. Dog.cost. Like this. Why? Because imagine that there is there is one more class. Maybe I'll call it as class cat. Okay, I'll call it as class cat. There is one more class called as class cat. Now don't you think this class also can have a static variable? Static int I'll tell color, maybe color is not int type, but let's say static int color is equals to 255. Maybe I'm trying to give some hexadecimal value, something like that. So I'm writing 255 here. Okay, so since I have written static, where it will come? Since I have written static, now color is a variable. Is it an instance variable? No, which means this color will not be present inside the object. Where it will be present? It's a static variable. That color, okay, that color will be coming and sitting here like this color. Okay, watch here. That color will be coming here, and first default values are added 0. After default values are added, your value 255 will go there. Now color is of which class? Yes, that is very important in the static, because in the static the content from all the classes can be present. So you have to, what will happen is, how it is stored here? It is stored by the class name. What is the class name of this static color? It is a cat. So it is stored how? It is stored as cat.color. This is how it is stored. This is how it is stored. I want you to take the screenshot of this. So take a screenshot of this code. Okay, take the screenshot of the code. So yes, I hope you have written screenshot of. Okay. You can take screenshot of this diagram. So I hope you have understood here, right? I hope you have understood what happens. See, giving the class name as uppercase is not it's not compulsory. Okay, here I have written CAT in C in uppercase. You can give lowercase also. You can give lowercase. For example, see when I compile, what will happen? There is no error, right? There is no error because it is not a rule that you have to write in uppercase, but it's a convention. Means other programmers can understand whenever they see capital letter, okay, they'll understand, okay, this might be a class, they'll understand. For that reason, we are following the convention, okay, so that it can be easy for ourselves also, for other programmers also. Okay, now let me erase this class cat. Okay, let me erase this class cat. Now, what I want to tell you is, as I told you in the diagram, right? If you create this static variable, okay, when you create object, static variables, here that static variable will come. Now, how do I access this cost, right? How do I access this cost? Tell me, is this cost, is it present inside the object? No. If it is not present inside the object, then why are you even creating the object, right? It is not present inside the object. I hope you are able to think, right? It is not present inside the object. So why do you have to create the object? Yes. Where it is present? It is present in the static. How it is present? Dog.cost. So let me go here and let me write, I'll write cost here. I'll write, give me the cost. Cost of which object? No, there is no object. Then class is there. That is dog class. Dog.cost I will tell. Watch here. If I tell dog.cost, see, I'll be getting the output as 100. So what you have to understand is, if there is any static variable, you can access that variable using class name. Is it clear? If there is any static variable, you can use that variable using the class name. Okay. Here I can't tell dog.weight, W-E-I-G-H-T. I can't tell dog.weight. Why? Weight is not a static variable, so it will tell compile time error. What it will tell is, a weight is an instance variable. For instance variable, first you create the object, then you call it string. Okay, so weight is an instance variable, as you can see. That is the reason. Okay, now if I tell static here, okay, if I tell static for the method, don't you think I can call using the class name dog.bark? I'll tell bark is a method, so I have to give brackets. So I'm sorry, yes. When I call dog.bark, okay, so I'll call dog.bark. So if I compile and execute, let's see. See, we have got the output as bar. Now, did I create an object here? No, you don't have to create an object. Why? Because it is not an object variable. Simple. It's a static variable. For static variable, you have to use class name dot method name or class name dot variable. This simple point I want you to understand. But sir, can I access this using object creation? No problem. For example, you tell d.bark. So what is d? Dog d is equals to new dog. This is what will happen. Okay, dog is equal to new dog. So now, don't you think I have created an object and I am calling using object reference? Yes, no problem. Okay, it's not a problem. So when I compile and when I execute, I'll get the same output. Why? Because in the compile time it will link. Okay, in the compile time it will link. So we can create using object also, but most of the time, okay, and other programmers don't create object for a static variable or static method. What do they use? They use class name or a static variable or a static method. So I want you to understand this, because in the future what I'm going to use is I'm going to write something like this: math.power. Okay, so right now I'll show it to you. Okay, if I tell system, okay, system.out.println, if I write math.power, okay, this is a inbuilt method. Okay, this is an inbuilt method where it will find the power of something. For example, I want to find 2 to the power 4. What is 2 to the power 4? 2 to the power 4 is 16. right? So I want to print that 16. So in this way, see, I got the output as 16. Now you have got to know the output is 16. You also have to understand what does it mean, right? So don't you think now m is in uppercase? M is in uppercase, which means math is a what? Class. Math is a class. Power is a method. Power is a method. Why method? Because it is containing these two brackets, right? Whenever it is containing brackets, it is a method here. So math is a class, power is a method. Tell me, power, is it a static method or is it an instance method? It is a static method. Why? Because using the class name dot, you have called the method name. Definitely that is a static method. So when I'm doing these kind of programs, you have to understand by looking at the code, right? Yes, it is a class and this is a static method. That's it. Okay. So this is the concept which I wanted to tell for today, right? So in the tomorrow's class we will see a lot more of this. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.